You're watching, listening to Loose Gadgies this week. It's all controversies. Starting with Mark on, is it alright or is it bad crack? Mark, what is the crack?
I mean, for the non-Geordie audience, help them out with alright or bad crack.
Alright, is it alright? Is it okay? Is it good? Bad crack, spelled C-R-A-I-C, is an Irish word. The Craic.
Yeah.
You know, so is it a bad thing? Good crack is having a good laugh.
Yeah.
Having a good time, that kind of stuff. So what we're saying is it okay or is it not?
Yeah.
Is it a good thing or is it shouldn't be doing that?
And I sort of went through some of me habits, observations, and I thought, right, I'll go through some of these, see if we can create some controversy. One of the things we discussed is on the next episode, you're gonna preempt the next episode to try and create some interest, aren't you?
Yes, I have a couple of parting questions for next week's. Controversial talk. Well, I say controversial. Sparking debate, certainly family debate, and I imagine there are some disagreements even amongst family members with some of these. So I'm going to kick it off like that. Although I see Mark's drinking one of his infusions.
So here's the first one: alright or bad crack. So as me and Simon were talking, I just had an Assam in this cup, and now I've got a peppermint tea in it, and I haven't washed my cup. Alright or bad crack?
I think I use the same knife, the same fork, the same plate, the same mug and glass. And I'm like, well, what's the point in getting another one out of the cupboard? When it comes to mugs and glasses, just rinse them out. I mean, if I've had orange juice in the glass in the morning and I want to have some Coke in it later or something, I'll wash it out. And, I'll actually get me the sponge that's on the end of the thing. You put the detergent or the fairy liquid in the top, and it slowly comes out the bottom directly into the sponge. One of those things. Right. So I'll wash between, but if I'm just putting like me teacup, you should see it. Once a month, I've got to scrub that thing out to get it back to white, because it's a white mug on the inside and it looks brown at the minute. I was like, why just rinse it out?
More tide marks than Time-Off Beach.
Aye. Just rinse it out. My mum comes around. Have you seen the state of that? Like, what? Well, I've only had tea in it, and then of course the spoon's on the side there. That spoon's going brown. I'm like, well, I'm just going to use the same spoon because I'm using it for tea. So, and when it gets too brown, I'll wash it. No, for me, it's perfectly fine. In fact, it's environmentally friendly.
Hell yes. Because we're not using too much water and too much squeezy liquid.
Aye.
So here's one. Interesting. I remember having this discussion a few years ago. Weeing in the shower, alright or bad crack?
Now then. They're technically two different drainage systems, aren't they? But they all end up in the sewers.
Oh, good lord, man.
Now, I have done it once or twice in a hotel, when I've been busting.
Yeah.
But I generally go before, it's all part of the sorting myself out process. So I'll sort of empty myself out and then get in the shower. What? Well, the sorting yourself out in the morning kind of process, not the... I'm not including hand jobs in that.
Really,
you go and scrub things, empty things.
Well, it's interesting because I'm an R8 guy, and the reason I say R8 is because I've been practicing my Wim Hof most of the time, so I finish off the shower with a cold shower. Now I'm getting into this routine that the cold shower goes through me up until and I feel quite tense up until I relax. When I start relaxing, I then have a wee. And that's me signal that I can turn the water off.
cold makes you want to go for a wee, though, doesn't it?
That must be why I want to go. So
This is what my mum always used to say.
Yeah, yeah. And it's interesting that many people have discussed this where they're like, no, it's been disgusting. But actually, in most drainage systems, the poop water and the shower water all go into the same drain. It's rainwater that goes into a different drainage system. So it all goes in the same poop pool.
Well, I think some people say, well, it's unhygienic. So, well, actually, urine is sterile.
Correct.
So
yeah.
It's not like there's germs and stuff in it. It is sterile. You might not want to do it after you've had asparagus, I suppose, or sugar puffs.
Pee on your ingrown toenail.
But I suppose as long as you're not taking a dump in the shower, you're fine.
Oh yeah, that involves a little.
But if it's me, I generally go beforehand.
Yeah, got you. Right.
Whilst the shower's warming up.
Keys on the loops of your jeans. Ari or bad crack?
Alan Partridge. That's what it is.
Yeah.
It's one of them.
Graceful.
Oh, it's just, especially them ones you have them on there, have them on the loop of their belt, and they've got one of them extendy things. They pull it out, put the key fob to the door and let it go, and it all retracts back. I'm like, oh Christ! I thought I was a nerd till I saw that. I mean, I'm a power nerd if there ever was one, but nah.
Oh, I'm just like
the people. They go in your pocket.
Yeah, and the ones that have got the most keys are the most important people.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
100%.
Nah, not for me.
100% no. No, they're in your pockets, so then you know you haven't dropped them.
Here's a one, to the point where Anita bought me a special spoon to stop me doing it. Licking your plate. Ari or bad crack?
Do you know what I've taken to do, especially after something like a baked potato? When you've got little bits of melted butter left and little bits of melted cheese left on the plate. I run my finger around it and then lick my finger.
Yeah.
So I'll sort of scoop it up with me side of my finger and do it that way. But I'm effectively licking my plate.
So Anita's bought me 6 months ago. She bought me a silicone spoon.
Oh right, so it bends and you can. I mean, I have to admit, I'm not doing it in company. And that's why you have a slice. That's why you have bread with some meals, right? So you can do all your mopping up afterwards.
Yeah.
So in company, I'd be using a slice of bread or something to do it, but I feel like it's wasted. If you've got some good flavour left on that plate, especially a good gravy, or you've got some butter or something left on there, you're like, oh, I'm finishing that stuff up. Where are you?
What about similar vein, but slurping the last bit of cereal out of your milk out of the bowl?
Scoop it up, and I'll tip the bowl in my face.
Yeah. I'm all right with that, but a lot of people frown upon it. The fact that
Are you just going to waste it?
Well, it just.
You know what I mean?
We're back to the old thing about sticking your mouth around the plate, aren't you?
Well, I mean, if you leave that little bit of milk in the bottom and then put your bowl on the side of the bench, it goes pretty hard and it's a bit of a bitch to clean out. So, or you'll have to rinse it. Or why waste it? Just hoy it. Just nick it. Why not?
Yeah. Here's one we see quite often when the Brits going abroad. Socks with sandals on. Arid or bad crack?
Depends who you ask. If you're asking me dad, aye, it's a dad thing, isn't it?
I'm saying bad crack. As you know.
Well, do you know what I usually do if I'm wearing shorts and trainers?
Yeah.
I'll wear those little sort of ankle socks things. Them ones that don't come above the sort of the ball of your ankle.
Yeah.
I wear those little socks as a compromise because I'm like, well, I'm not putting me bare feet in trainers. Don't be silly. Flip flops and sandals. Nah, I cannot wear socks.
No.
Cannot. I feel like I want to, but then I feel I shouldn't.
Yeah, I don't know. It's especially the ones where they deliberately pull those 3/4 socks halfway up to the kneecaps, and just like, no,
you don't make it that obvious, do you?
No.
Don't make it that obvious. At least wear some shorter socks that don't go much beyond your ankle.
I'm expecting to see them with a hanky tied on all four corners.
Aye.
On the head.
Aye.
No. So
my dad's got no shame.
See if I can get you with this one. Farting in a lift, is it wrong on all levels?
Oh, any excuse to bring that joke back up. I've done one on the metro once, which even threw me off, and I was like, "Oh, that's harsh." And you could just see you could just see some facial expressions change.
Is that where
you could almost see it travel just by the change in their faces? It was it was wrong, but
you keep like stony face, don't you?
Oh, you do.
And then you start giving that the old, I can smell that as well. I wonder who that is.
One of Stu's mates, his dad had any shame, and he would just walk in the living room, let one go, and he'd go, "Oh, that was a fridge door, that one." I said, What do you mean? What do you mean? Well, it creaks, doesn't it? Creaks. Yeah. He was the guy. He was the guy who went in for a job interview, and he was a handyman, right? And he could fix or fit just about anything, right? He could build just about you like. He'd been a mechanic, he'd been a fitter, a joiner, all sorts. And he went for a proper job when he folded his business. And the guy said, is there anything you can't do? And he went, "I can't stick my arse out the bathroom window, then run downstairs and shoot it." in a job interview. His first job interview for a proper job in I don't know how many years. Yeah. I don't know if he got the job, actually, come to think of it.
Yeah. Here's a dilemma one. So you go for a poo, right? Mm-hmm. And after you've flushed, there's some residue in the bottom. We would call them skids. Yeah. There's some skids in the bottom. Are we all right to leave them?
No.
A bad crap.
No, I wouldn't even leave them at work.
No.
I'd get if there's a bog brush next to the bog at work, I'd give it a. Especially if someone sees you walking out and there's only one cubicle or something, you're like, well, they're gonna know it's me, or they're gonna think it's me.
You guns, we're not allowed bog brushes in our house.
What?
We're not allowed them.
Why?
They're unhygienic.
Right. And the alternative cleaning method is
bleach. Let it settle, then flush.
That's not always an effective method, though, right? What happens if it's above the waterline?
Oh, well, yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, so above the waterline we're struggling, aren't we? So
yeah, and then you're talking about other unhygienic cleaning methods. I mean, do you put a cloth in then, and you have to hide that in the bin, or?
Well, it was the girl that we worked with at Pandora. She says, do you not do a fireman's lift?
What? What the hell's a fireman?
Where you take bits of toilet roll and you basically cover the bowl, and my phone was going. Take bits of toilet roll, put it around the bowl.
Oh, so you create a landing pad.
Correct.
Some people do, because when you're in someone else's house, you don't want to hear the bloop, the splash. Mind you, this all literally goes down the toilet when you go over to a place like Amsterdam, where their loos have a shelf, and the water pushes it off the shelf and down into the water. So you literally turn around and there's your crap just sitting there.
Yeah.
And then when you hit the flush, it pushes it off that shelf and then into the water. And I asked why, and they said, "Oh well, it's about gut health." Which you mean? So well, you can turn around, you can see if there's anything wrong with it. Right? I don't want to turn around and just see a nice pile that I've created. I'm a creative type, but
You want to see them winking at you, do you?
No, I'd rather have and sometimes after certain foods, the splashback's quite welcome. When it hits the water, and you go, "Oh, that was refreshing."
Yeah. Yeah, there's a. I mean, I've got a list here. What about swearing? I eat a bad crack.
There are certain words I still won't say at my mum's house. I'll go as
Yeah,
far as the S word, but beyond that, nah.
yeah. So you can say it. You can say it.
Because
We, we've
they
been
don't,
talking
and they don't see the need for it.
toilet humor, but you can say it. You can say toilet humor, shit, but you can't say much more than that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Although, well, you ask my older brother and he doesn't care. But Stu occasionally drops an F bomb, but I don't because they don't, and they don't see a need for it unless it's in context.
Yeah.
Unless it's in context, but I won't just throw it around. I even try not to in general conversation, but there's loads of people out there that just say the F word like it's, you know, part of everyone's dictionary or common day language. I think, well, then it loses its impact, doesn't it, when you actually need to say it?
Yeah.
That's what swear words I think are meant for, to add emphasis. So for me, nah, it's bad crack. Just hiding them about.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean,
Although you should ask Kelsey. You know what Kelsey's like, sea bombing all over the place.
Yeah.
But she does it in a way that I don't know. It always sounds funny.
Well, it was funny. So I had me. I'll slightly digress from my last 2 minutes. I had me naughty boy driving school on Tuesday. So I had me driver's awareness course on Tuesday, and
Ah,
there was 9 of us in the class, and I have to say he was a really really cool guy that was running it, and he did all a bit about race, creed at the beginning, and swearing and blah blah blah. You shouldn't do any of this. And then one of the kids, he was a coach, nutritional coach, and he was like, "Aye, but what do you do when somebody's right up your arse?" And he goes, "You mean bottom?" And I was just laughing my head off. But then the next day I went to B&Q, and because I was getting a couple of bits, and all the tills were off, and there was 2 girls at the returns counter, and they were in deep conversation, and I just moved my trolley up, and I just stood there, and one of the girls talked to the other one and went, "And that fucking bastard," and I looked at her, and she looked at us, and I went, "Got you." And there was this realization that she'd been swearing at work in front of a customer, and it was just like, you know, and I was like, and then I told her about my previous day about the bloke saying arse on the driver awareness course. She says, how bizarre. She says, "I'm going on one tomorrow," and I was like, "Well, you better watch your language." And she just started laughing. But it was just like that way that some people in conversations forget where they are, aren't they?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and just let
it's
the
true.
F-bomb go.
Yeah.
But it was, yeah, bizarre. So what do you do if somebody's right up your arse, like? It's like and he was like, "Well, what you do is you just make sure that you're maintaining the 2-second distance between the car in front of you. And actually, if you want, you might want to increase that to 4 seconds by gently taking your foot off the accelerator, giving an indication to the driver behind you that actually he's a bit fucking too close."
Yeah.
So, yeah. Anyway, that was my dilemma.
Aye.
I mean, I got loads more there, but I'll save them for another day.
You want to do one more? Just the one? Just to round it off?
Ooh, nail biting. I eat a bad crack.
I used to even do my toenails, man. Now I've got a proper set of clippers.
Have you?
I say that. I've also got a full manicure kit because I thought it might be a laugh. And I sat and watched a few manicure videos on YouTube and I went, so I had a look on Amazon. Bought myself a full kit with the nail files, the little Dremel thing where you can get rid of the your cuticles and the bits of skin around here. And I've got all the little clippy bits and I got them all looking really nice, shiny and posh. And I thought, ooh, that's nice.
Yeah.
That's nice. But yeah, no, these days I clip them.
You know, see, I'm gonna make a statement here, you know, in front of our vast audience of 3.2 million people, that this is something new I didn't know about Simon. So Simon, when you get to know him, that's not one of the things I would have had Simon down for. Sitting in a Thai booth in a shopping mall doing people's nails.
It was one of them ASMR videos. of someone just having their nails done, and it was a comfy thing. Though, and I just looked at mine and went, because I'm forever biting, the skin from the sides, and I'm always nibbling on something, right? So I thought,
no.
I'll give it a crack.
Normally,
Why not? See how see how difficult it is. So I haven't used it in ages. I think it was just a fad.
Yeah,
it's the thing I went through at the time. But anyway.
Yep. Good one.
Next episode. It's going to be some food controversies. Now, there's a couple of things I want you to bear in mind, because this one will be out on Thursday.
Yeah.
I need you to think about how you cook your bacon, what order you might remove certain things from packaging, where you store things, bench, cupboard, fridge, and beans on toast. Think about those things for the next episode on Thursday. Just think about your methods, your preferred methods, and what you consider to be or should be absolutely illegal, non-negotiable, right? But until then, drop your comments, drop your "is it all right" or "is it bad crack" down below. Hit some subscribes and shares and some likes, and we'll see you on Thursday. Take care.